Hello everyone, welcome to the beginners tutorial series for Python. And since you're already here and have made up your mind to learn Python, let's not get into the history and why you should learn Python and all. And let's dive straight into it. So today let's see how we can install Python on our system to start learning with some basic programs. So first of all, what you're gonna need for starting with Python are two things. First, you'll need to install Python on your system, and you'll also need a text editor. So for Python, you can go to the Python's official website called python.org, and from here you can go to download and download this for Windows or any of the operating system that you might have. So that will download a installer exe file for you, and you can use that to install Python on your system. So let's go ahead and click on this. Always remember to click on this add python.exe to path. Otherwise, it might not run properly from your terminal. I'm not going to check this since I have already have a older version of Python installed on this system. It might mess up with the paths. But if you are installing a fresh installation, be sure to check this checkbox as well. You click on install. This will take a few minutes to a few seconds depending on the specs of the laptop. Done. So Python was successfully installed. Now to check if Python was installed, you can open a command prompt over here and then try to run the command Python. This should take you to a Python shell. If it doesn't, then that means there might be some issue with the installation. So if you run the command exit over here, you get out of the shell. And to check the version, you run the version command. So as you can see, even though we installed Python 13, it still says Python 3.11 because I did not add the uh, path variable. I did not set the path variable to point to the Python 3.13 installation. So it still points to an older installation. But if I ever want to use the latest installation, I can use the py command. So the py command points to the latest installation of Python that we installed. So this points to 3.13. I'll exit out of here. Then for the code editor, we could install a Visual Studio Code. So you could use any code editor of your choice, but this is just a famous choice to use. So we'll go ahead with this. You can click on download for Windows and then install it using the installer. Since I already have it installed, let's go ahead and open it. So we'll again open the command shell over here and type code dot. So using this command, it will open the Visual Studio Code and also open this directory inside of the Visual Studio Code. So now we are in that folder as well. So let's go ahead and make a new file. Let's call this main.py. So all the Python programs have a extension of .py. So this .py extension tells the computer that this is a Python file. So for starters, let's go ahead and just write a simple hello world. So all you have to do to make a hello world program in Python is just use the print function. So when we call this print function followed by parentheses and write anything inside, pass anything inside this parentheses using either double quotes or single quotes also work with Python. Just don't mix them up. This will print this command to the console. To run your code, you can just go here and type python main.py. See, this prints hello world to the console. But this is way too easy and not much interesting, right? Since Python is such a powerful language, let's go ahead and make something more fun. Okay, so for now, let's not dive into what lists are, but let's just make a simple array. So what we'll do, we'll make an array with two different strings and make some ASCII art in here. So let's just make a simple ASCII art with a sun and a man standing on an island, saying that he loves Python. So to make a sun, you could. So I'll just quickly go ahead and draw that. Let's copy this same image and also add it over here. So now that we have the array ready, let's just go ahead and create a for loop. So for I in array range, let's say 20. So what a for loop basically does is it just we can use this syntax to repeat the code that follows after this loop some number of times. So in this case, we want the code that follows to repeat 20 times. And how does the computer know which code to repeat 20 times? We have to indent that block of code. So in Python, it is a standard practice to use four spaces for the indentation. Uh, in on VS Code, if you press tab as well, it will use four spaces only. You can use two spaces as well, but you just have to be consistent with the amount of indentation you do. So in this, then we'll use again a for loop. So for frame in n, what we are going to do, we'll just print this, print the n, then we'll wait. So let's just import time. So what this import statement does is we are importing something called time. So this time over here is a module in a library. So what we actually want to do is we want to use code written in this module in our own program. So the way to do that is using import statements. We'll dive a lot deeper into those, but for now, just understand that using import statement, we can get some other functionality into our code. So let's import this as well, and let's also import OS. So what we'll do after this, we'll call time.slepc 0.5. So now what we are telling the program to do is sleep for 0.5 seconds. So it will not move ahead until the zero point 0.5 seconds have passed. And then we'll just clear the console of whatever there is. So os dot sys system will call the CLS method. So this CLS is just a console command that is used to clear the console. You have to use the clear clear command if you are in a Linux based system, but on Windows it is CLS. So as we can see in Python, the code is almost self-explanatory. If we see over here, we can see that we want to import some things, then L is just an array. So it is defined using square brackets. There can be multiple things in an array and they have to be separated by a comma. And then we are just running two loops and printing both of these strings and having some time between them so that it looks like an animation. Okay, one small correction. We want to print the frame and not the whole loop and not the whole list. So we'll just put the frame in here. So now let's go ahead and run our program with Python, or we can even use py main.py. So as we can see over here, this is a very cool animation that has a man shouting I love Python standing on an island. So even creating a simple animation in Python is also just a few lines of code. So that's why you're going to enjoy this journey. And let's end this video here for now.